Where
Yeah,
the
God.
mics are hot.
Where
Yeah.
where are you even on this? Are we even on this? I mean,
No, no. Although Jessica's caricature is terrifying. Like
they're
just
all kind of terrifying.
no, Jessica's is especially terrifying. Mike's they put on some extra pounds on Mike. Mike looks a
You
little
know, he
chunky
looks
there.
about 20 years older. Like he's
Yeah.
been just hey, hey, we're live. I mean,
Oh, I guess
I should
I
probably
gotta
finish
sit up.
this up. Mm-hmm.
What is that? What beverage are you sipping on there,
A
sir?
little hoppy holidays from Charlotte, North
Hoppy.
Carolina.
Oh, I get it because like it's kind of like hops, which is what beer is made out of, right?
That's
Do
right.
I have
I
that right?
mean, yeah, and
Awesome.
hoppy holidays like it's the holidays. There's Christmas, there's Hanukkah, there's New Year's. It's all happening right now. I mean, speaking
Oh
of
no, no. Oh
happening
no.
right now,
No, no. It's all happening right now because it's hoppy.
yes.
The holidays are hoppy.
Oh, it is 9:55 on the East Coast. Steph Curry has done it. I mean, 2,974 three-pointers. The all-time record is now Steph Curry's. Did it feel like he's had this record for a very long time and this was just the coronation? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I think like when the starting point on this is if he hit 16 3-pointers today, he's got the record.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
when you start with that, where it's like, oh, if he just shatters the single game record, he'll have the all time record for threes made. Then you know this guy is destined and meant to make this. I guess knock on wood, we can say this now. I didn't want to say it out loud at any point, but like, I'm glad he didn't like tear up an ACL or something like one game away or 2 games away. I'm glad he managed to stay healthy and was able to secure this record.
I know we're supposed to be cold-hearted about this. I mean, because we're hashtag quote unquote journalists, capital J journalists here in the media, but
Speak for
I
yourself.
can't remember a regular season game that was as cool of a moment to watch Steph Curry breaking the record and then going and hugging Ray Allen, hugging his dad, hugging Reggie Miller, hugging his mother, just dapping up everyone in Madison Square Garden. Yeah, I'm very pleased this didn't happen in Indiana last night. It was really cool to watch. And then the other thing was like, man, trying to think like what was the last time a regular season game felt this big or the moment felt this big? Maybe Kobe's last regular season game when he dropped 60.
Dog, I can't believe I'm going with a horde disagree. For a regular season game, what about the regular season game where he hit the shot a couple steps inside a half court against Oklahoma City? What about the Christmas game when Durant was signed to the Warriors and the Cavs ended up winning? What about like the game where Kobe and Shaq
Nope.
played for the first time? Like all those felt more momentous. This was very anticlimactic because the Knicks aren't good.
No.
Oh no, I was not, and because we knew it was going to happen. Fait accompli. I'm glad it happened on national TV in the world's most famous arena. That's cool that it happened there, but
It was
you're making us
the single highest hottest ticket Madison Square Garden like history. This ticket
no,
tonight.
but
And
no,
you're
but that
telling me
adjusted for
you're
inflation.
telling me
Wait, hold on. Adjusted for inflation.
I
That's
don't
okay.
know.
Well, there you go. Well, that's like man, like there's a context to all this stuff. I'm just saying, like, do you think the ratings for this is going to be one of the highest rated regular season games ever?
It's going to be the highest rated game of the season. I think it's going to be up there.
No, the highest
This
rated
game,
game of the
Stephen,
season.
you're
No,
underrating Stephen
no.
Curry right now. You're underrating Stephen Curry's
You're
his
overrating.
draw at Madison Square Garden. You're forgetting the market we're talking about. You're forgetting the Mecca, and you're forgetting the fact that look, we've got a lot of like in between time between NFL and college football. This is the biggest story in sports right now. Steph
I,
Curry.
I was I
You're
was
you're sleeping on it.
I had to watch the beginning of this game on my phone because the place where I was didn't have it on the TV.
What are you
Like
talking
that's
about?
I was out when the game started, and I was like, "Can we get the?" And they were like, "Nah." And so I just had to watch it on my phone.
I just wonder what supersedes the Steph Curry about to break the 3-point record at Madison Square Garden. Like, what game is on that TV that they don't have it?
Local sports. Local sports.
Where
I'm just
are you?
like,
Like Reno, Nevada? Jeez.
I'm
come
just
on,
saying.
man.
Well, I mean, like, no, Reno would have had it because it would have had like a whole 8 million games. They would have had the Hawaii game on some screens and stuff like that. No, this is, and as I'm watching right now, the game's over, obviously, and Reggie and Steph and Ray Allen are all meeting at midcourt. By the way, I'd like to point out that Ray Allen is dressed very much like our very own Pretty Tony. He's got the suit with the turtleneck on. What's the difference between a mock turtleneck and a turtleneck? I don't know. But
Mock turtleneck is kind of halfway. It goes halfway. A full turtleneck kind of has the fold over, not unlike a certain thing. An
uncircumcised penis. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
it's nighttime. No, it's nighttime. Like, let me put it this way. Like, I'm sorry. Well, let me look at the comments. So they were like, my child is watching this.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah. Hey, where's what's my man Danny Martinez? How's my internet connection today, asshole?
We've already gotten to the Danny Martinez shout out.
I just thought of as what I said. Let me check the chat. No, but no, obviously it's a big occasion. I don't want to belittle the event, but like the idea that this somehow, wow, and they already got Reggie has his jersey with him, and Ray Allen has.
Because it's a big deal. I mean,
it is a big deal. Ray Allen has his Celtics jersey, which
Pete Davidson is sideline. He was courtside.
He goes to all the games. This
is the biggest game of all time. Pete Davidson in a hot pink sweatshirt.
That's what he wears every day.
I know. I'm just kidding.
It's like, Chris Rock was there. Tracy Morgan. Yeah, they go to every game.
Spike Lee was there tonight.
Dell and Sonya were both there, albeit separately. I had a friend who pointed out that Dell, since the breakup, is pretty nattily dressed. Got a Gucci belt and you got some slimming attire. I was like, hey, it bees like that sometimes. But no, look, it was a big deal, Tom, but is it the biggest regular season game of the season? I'm going to say no.
Yes, especially now. We'll get to this later. I mean, especially because COVID is wrecking this season. Just like Mike Ryan texted with The Undertaker. Everyone's excited about finishing out 2021, and here comes The Undertaker stalking the regular season. Omicron.
I try to get this going on Levitard show when I was on about a couple of weeks ago. I said, does anybody have better branding than coronavirus? I mean, they really like everything that they name has like a cool goddamn COVID-19, Delta, Omicron. Like everything they say is so fucking cool, man. I want a jacket that says Omicron on it. And like, oh, hey, what's up? Oh, it's some COVID boys. They're in the building. Like it just sounds cool. Before anyone goes stupid and says, oh, Amin, oh, you like COVID? Like, I'm not saying I like COVID or what it does. I'm just saying the naming protocols, they are on fire with that. Hey, if the people in charge of naming all these COVID strains were in charge of naming the Oklahoma City Thunder, we'd have a better name for that team.
The Rona also pretty good.
Yeah.
Even the nicknames.
I'm just saying, it's the Omarion. They call it's a panoramic.
Like even like the actual like molecule, it looks pretty badass. Like the picture.
The picture
right?
of what? Yeah, the coronavirus. Yeah, it's just like holy shit. Like no wonder we're getting our ass kicked.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
What I was trying to get at was that Giannis Antetokounmpo is now in health and safety protocols. So is James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
We have a bunch of Brooklyn Nets in COVID protocols, a bunch of Bulls in protocols, the Hornets, a huge story in the NBA as well as in the NFL. Adam Schefter has been reporting the last 2 days that something like 50 plus players have been put into protocols in the NFL side.
Mm-hmm.
But This carries a little bit more weight in the NBA right now because do the math, 10 days from now is starting tomorrow, December 25th. Christmas Day games are in jeopardy if James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo continue to test positive. They're going to be out for the next 10 days. And we'll talk more about that later. We're going to have Brandon Payne, who is Steph Curry's longtime trainer from Accelerate Basketball. He is going to be live from Madison Square Garden. He is there. He's probably talking to Steph Curry right now. I don't know. I mean, you're probably watching in their half court. Brandon Payne, who has been with him for the last
commercial for me.
Better part of the last decade. He's going to join us and give some insight to how he got here to the all-time three-point record and what it was like at Madison Square Garden. Unlike Amin, I thought it was a pretty cool vibe.
I'm excited to ask Brandon about like how those last couple of weeks have been, where like we've seen Steph look uncharacteristically pressed and shot hunting rather than going through the flow of the game. And, you know, Brandon talks to Steph a lot. Last season when he started slow and the Warriors started slow, Brandon was the one of the people who had to give Steph the pep talk of, hey, man, these guys are hanging their heads when they're down 15 because they've never seen the miracle happen. You just hear, you know, they hear rumors and they heard legends and stuff, but like you need to remind them it's real. It's all real. And the 61-point game against Portland is what we got as a result. So I'm really excited to talk to Brandon about a lot of those kind of things there because, you know, he's one of the people on the inside. He's seen the process. He's talking to Steph on a daily basis, and he's always been very gracious with us, Tom, where, you know, he lets us on in the inside there where I don't know if many people would feel that way. Tom, I do have a question because this was something you brought up to me earlier and you put it in the rundown as well. And I'm sure we're going to ask this to everybody. We're going to have Zach Harper on also as well later.
I like you just had like a nice like 2-minute soliloquy about Brandon Payne coming onto the show and how amazing he is. And then you just kind of threw in Zach Harper. You're just like, oh, and Zach Harper.
Well, I'm not saying that Zach Harper's amazing or anything. I'm just saying he's coming on also. So we're going to ask him this question. But Tom, you asked me this question earlier. Yep. What's your favorite Steph three-pointer of all time? And I didn't give you the answer because I said save it for the show. But now that we're in the show, go ahead.
Game 3, 2015 playoff series against the New Orleans Pelicans at New Orleans.
Oh, the one in the corner?
The one in the corner. I mean,
yeah.
He got attacked. He got assaulted by multiple Pelicans, including Anthony Davis. He misses a three in the left corner. I forget who his defender was, but he turns his back to look up at the three-pointer. Steph relocates, darts into the left corner.
The opposite corner.
No, he was still in the same corner. Like he was kind of on the wing, and then he darts into the left corner.
Wasn't in the right corner? Wasn't in front of the bench?
No. So Mo Spates catches the offensive rebound, and Mo Spates, who's never collected an assist in his NBA career, dishes it out to Steph in the corner, and Steph takes it with just a sliver of daylight. And Anthony Davis, all like 18 feet of him, go gadget arms, collapses on top of Steph Curry, and he falls into the corner, sends it into overtime, and they eventually win game 3. But that was a 20-point comeback in that fourth quarter. That shot capitalized a 20-point comeback by the Golden State Warriors to win game 3 in New Orleans. It was an insane atmosphere. I was there, and I can tell you that's one of the best shots I've ever seen in person.
Oh, you were at the game.
Covering it for ESPN. They sent me down to New Orleans to cover that series. In fact, I remember going to that game, just to give you an idea of how far down the Pelicans are on the totem pole of New Orleans sports. We took an Uber. I think it was Ethan Strauss and I. We took an Uber to the game that night. This is 2015. Steph Curry's in town. And the guy goes, hey, where are you guys going tonight? And we're like, oh, we're going to the Smoothie King Arena. We're going to the game, the playoff game. He goes, oh, there's a playoff game tonight?
Yeah.
I was like, this is the biggest. It was game 3. Steph Curry's in town. The Pelicans never do this. And they didn't even know. Anthony Davis was still with the team. He was a huge star. New Orleans had no clue. It's a Saints town. If you rank the teams in Dante Cunningham, Drew Holiday, who else is on there? But if you had to rank New Orleans sports teams in New Orleans, it probably goes 1 Saints, 2 Saints, 3 Saints, 4 LSU.
1 Well, LSU's farther up than 4, I think. I think it's 1
You,
Saints, 2 LSU, 3 Saints, 4 LSU.
and then maybe Pelicans. You think the
Then
Pelicans get there?
no, then LSU basketball. Yeah.
Since Ben Simmons, since Shaq. So that's
Yeah.
that's my number one. Game 3, Pelicans, overtime, send it in overtime, collapsed it into a launcher. If you caught Del Curry and Seth Curry in the audience, they were just like, oh my fucking God, did he really hit that?
So a couple things. I want everybody in the chat, if you want, go ahead and tell me what your favorite Steph 3-pointer is
Yeah, I'm gonna
of
tweet
all
this out
time.
too.
I've got a couple. I've got a couple that I'm just gonna name before I pick one because I want to keep the jury pool pure. But one of the more obvious ones, OKC game winner, bang, bang, that one. Because I remember Ethan talking about Steph shoots from half court routinely in practice, and he practices it every day. And Ethan asked maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before that game, why don't you shoot him in games? And Steph like answered very matter of factly, not to brag, but like, because I'm worried I might like destroy the game. Like everyone wouldn't know how to react if I pulled up from that far. You're talking about teammates and everything. Like it'd be the scene from the Flint Tropics with Semi-Pro where they throw the alley-oop and the ref whistles like foul, travel, like he doesn't know, and he's got to consult the rule book because he doesn't know what just happened, right? I got another one was the one he did against the Clippers where he literally like weaved between 4 different defenders all within the like a 2x2 foot area span, like forward, backwards, between, and then pulled up for 3. It's the play that Steve Kerr said, no, and then he hits the shot in, and he just kind of like yeah, get the hell out of here as he walks back up the court. I think there is the one I definitely enjoyed this one. The one where he hit the shot in Boston, got fouled, switched from the right to the left, and hit a left-handed 4-point play.
Yeah. Nuts. What about the one with Kawhi Leonard in the corner where he relocated in the corner, in the right corner against Kawhi? Just lost Kawhi.
I can't remember that one. I mean, there were a lot. I'm trying to think of what's another 3-pointer that he hit that was, I was just like, this is pretty ridiculous. I mean, obviously, the guy's got a lot. He's hit more threes than anybody in the history of the NBA, so he's gonna have a lot of those. But man, it's just some of those things. You know, I see one of the listeners here, Omar Little, says, I think Kyrie's shot against him is greater than any shot he hit by far. I mean, it's because it's game 7. It's because of the stakes, right? But if you think of Kyrie's shot, it was one-on-one coverage from about 24 feet, and he pulled up and hit it. Like, don't get me wrong, an incredible shot in terms of the stakes and the clutchness, but it's a regular 3-point shot. If I took away the score and the time, you wouldn't look there and be like, "Oh my God, what an amazing!" You'd be like, "Oh, you know, he stuck it in."
It was the stakes. It was the stakes of the shot.
The stakes, absolutely. But when you look at some of the shots, you know, the ones that we're talking about, the one Tom picked, the corner against New Orleans, being swallowed by the entire team. The one I'm talking about against the Clippers, where he just go in and out of 3 or 4 dudes all trying to stop him. The 4-point play that he put up with his left hand after his right hand got pulled down. Like, those are all definitively way more difficult, impressive shots than just a one-on-one against a guy and then pull up and shoot from about 24 feet out.
Someone else has suggested Game 6 in Houston, 2019, right wing pick and roll with Dre to seal it and cap a 33-point second half. Not a bad suggestion.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's got some good ones, man. He's got some iconic ones. A half-court shot against the Grizzlies in the playoffs. That's another one. Yeah, remember that? This is after the Grizzlies went up 2-1 in the series, and then like that game 4, they're just like, all right, enough of this bullshit. Oh, the one he hit over Delhi also, that one was pretty good. It's not, albeit it's a little bit more pedestrian of a shot. But
I mean, I think my pick is a dark horse pick. I mean, I guess the best one I think
that was
has
the
to
one I
be the
thought.
OKC.
That was one of the ones I thought of, Tom. When I said I think everyone's got the same one, and you said, do they? And I tried to think, okay, if not everyone picks OKC, then what other ones? And the next one I thought of was corner against New Orleans, and the next one I thought of at that was a 4-point play from last year. And then it took me some thinking because at first I see someone else in the chat say the one where he put CP3 on skates, but it wasn't a three. At first, I wanted to think of that one. Then I was like, oh, no, that was a layup. So then I was like, but he had another one against the Clippers, and that was the one that I remembered. The one where he took on the whole Clipper team. Because the funniest thing about that is you could see they have an angle where they show Steve Kerr on the sideline screaming at him like, pass the ball, and then he gets a shot, and Steve Kerr's like, go fuck yourself, basically.
Should that disqualify you as a coach if Steph Curry takes a 3-pointer and you're screaming, what are you doing? That should be a disqualification.
It's not the shot. It was this.
Come on.
He was dribbling his way into oblivion, man. Like, I mean, that was a bad play. I think we can all sit here and say, I get it. You made the shot, but that was a bad play. Not because we don't think you can make the shot. It's just it was unnecessary given the defensive attention that he had. So I don't know.
Switching gears for a second. Big story today from our guy Mark Stein at his Substack Stein line. Great story today about Del Curry. He caught up with Del Curry the other night and asked him about draft night. Draft night. The Curry camp really wanted to go to the Knicks. They really wanted to go, and they actually tried to talk the Warriors out. Del Curry was trying to convince the Warriors to not take Stephen Curry, and of course, the rest is history. But Amin, you had a front row seat to that night.
Yeah. So the story was originally told on not Drink Champs, excuse me, All the Smoke. When Steph went on All the Smoke,
Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson.
He told Matt and Stack, I wanted to go to the Knicks, right? And then Mark Stein confirmed that story through Del Curry directly, and we got a little bit more of those details. I would say that while I don't doubt that they wanted to be in New York, because remember it wasn't just playing for the Knicks; it was Mike D'Antoni. There was a thought that playing for Mike D'Antoni was a thing, but I will tell you there was no chance he was going to last to them because, again, and longtime listeners will know this story because I've told the story a million times, but we had a deal in principle with the Warriors that they ended up backing out on.
Who's we?
So we are the Phoenix Suns. So it's 2009. Where was I? I was in Phoenix.
I'm saying, like, where were you in the draft?
Oh, no. So this is the story starts way before the draft. The story starts early in the season. We started with Terry Porter. We were behind the 8 ball. We were kind of struggling. Amari Stoudemire gets injured. He gets poked in the eye. And, like, things are just not going well for us. And so we had been in talks with Golden State before the trade deadline and then after the trade deadline about trading Amari Stoudemire and Jason Richardson, who obviously had played for them and been very successful there, for basically parts and their pick. It started with Anthony Randolph, and they said, no Anthony Randolph. Then it went to Brandon Wright, Andres Biedrins, I want to say Kalena Azubuike, and their first-round pick. And really for us, it was all about get us that first-round pick because we know the Warriors are bad, and we thought this was going to give us a great opportunity to pick Curry because we thought Curry would land somewhere in the top 5. And we wanted to be there to get him. We were also a lottery team that year, but we were like 14. So that obviously doesn't do much. For us, 2010 was going to be an end horizon season where you had all these guys who were going to be free agents. And so we were like, we can either wait or we can be proactive and try and like retool in advance of that. So the Warriors end up getting 7th in the lottery after the lottery balls come out and everything. And we go into the draft and now we finally gotten around the parameters of a deal, but when you do these things, you never tell them, and you're gonna take this guy for us. You just Damone, you know where the story's going? Someone kick him out, please. Yo, right here, Damone 13831. No. I want him out. The story's going where Damone's not gonna hear the end of it. Yo, Tony, can we do that? You got that? You got me, Tony? Damone 13831. Get his ass up out of here. You don't like the story? It's cool, bro. You know what? We stopping until I can confirm that he's been kicked out. And if he's not kicked out, not going to finish the story because Damone, everyone can know Damone was the one that did it. Damone was
all right. We are at 25 minutes.
Damone,
if you had the over under at 25 minutes on Amin feuding with
Damone's blocked. Let's go. I want to make good on my promise. Okay, so we go into draft day. Blake Griffin goes number 1. He was a consensus number 1 overall pick, and we're thinking all we need is like one person to get pushed to jump into the top 5, to push him down, and then a little bit of luck beyond that. And so, do you know who the one person was, Tom Habistro, that jumped up and made this dream a reality for us, or a possibility?
David Kahn.
No, who was the person who jumped up? What player got drafted in the?
Oh, Hasheem Thabeet?
Hasheem Thabeet at number 2. We legit had conversations. If Thabeet falls to us in the second round, should we take him on value alone? Second round. That's where he was on our board. Second round. He went 2 overall. 3 was James Harden. We thought Harden was going to go top 3. 4 was Tyreek Evans. We thought Evans was going to go 2, so he drops to 4. 5 was Rubio. 6 is Johnny Flynn. 7 was Curry. And we're joined right now by Brandon Payne. He was there. He's a witness for history.
I am.
Brandon, first of all, thank you for joining us. You're live from Madison Square Garden.
Yep.
We appreciate it. Me and Tom were kind of arguing about this. Tom thinks that this is the biggest game of the season so far.
For us, it was for sure. It's it's been we kind of had this game circled, and from the beginning of the year, we kind of thought if we're hitting 5 or a little bit more than 5 threes a game, that this would be the game that he did it, and it's awful special to do it in Madison Square Garden. So for us, it certainly is the biggest game of the year, and I would think for the NBA, quite honestly, because it's the first kind of big accomplishment that anybody's had this year. So I'd have to agree with Tom.
Little disappointing, 5 of 14 tonight from three-point land. Just pretty disappointing night for Steph and Curry.
We'll take it. We'll take it as long as he hit 2 tonight. We would have taken it. So I was glad it got out of the way early. Quite honestly, it's one of those things where it was about middle of the third quarter before I really realized it was still a game, and I had so much going on my phone and just kind of thinking about all the things that have gone on since 2011 until now, all the different things all the trips we've taken, all the different early mornings and late nights and all the workouts. So it was a special night, and I'm just so happy for him. Nobody deserves it more than him.
Brandon, I got a question for you. Obviously, we've been talking about Steph breaking this record for a little over a week and some change. And I think everyone's noticed he was really hunting it. Unnaturally, uncharacteristically so for him, right? You're a guy that you're kind of beyond his trainer. You're a confidant. You talk to him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What were you telling him during the stretch about like relaxing, or do you just kind of let him do what he's got to do because the record is so close?
I kind of let him ask me questions when he needs to ask me questions, and I kind of try to stay in my lane and not step out of it. And but like you, I kind of noticed I was out in the Bay for the Portland game last week, and I kind of noticed that there may have been a few questionable shot selection, shots taken. So, I'd have to agree with you there. But other than that, I think, I was in Philadelphia with them Saturday night. I thought they did a really good job defensively on him. They showed him a lot of length, and they made a lot of things difficult. But he still found a way to hit some shots. And then tonight, and actually last night, tonight, I knew that these were two teams that didn't necessarily match up in the same way that Philadelphia did. So I thought they would certainly make shots last night and tonight.
What does bad shot selection look like for Steph regularly? Forget about this last week. Would you watch games from like last season? Like that was a bad shot, Steph.
It's rare. It's rare because I tell them all the time the best play in the basketball is Stephen Curry jump shot. But it's rare. There were a couple of quick early shots in the game last Wednesday that I thought, that ball probably could have moved and gotten back to you. But other than that, he's pretty good about making sure he's taking the right shot at the right time. He just got a little trigger happy in that game. And for the most part, I think that if he's taking 14 or 15 threes a game, I think that's about right. I know that sounds crazy compared to what we used to think is a normal number of three-point shot attempts, but 14 or 15 is about right for him.
That's Tom. Tom was the one. Tom was the one that was saying he's not shooting enough, and everyone thought Tom was crazy.
Well, I say he's not shooting enough all the time, but I don't know if the coaching staff who just walked out by me would agree. But yeah.
Wait, can you get Steve or Mike on the show?
I think he's got bigger media members than me he's going to talk to right now, so I don't think I can stop Steve.
It was worth the try, Brandon. Hey, what's the one workout you think of, the hardest workout you've put Steph through, that when he hits that 2,974th, you think back and you're like, it was all worth it? That workout sticks out to me.
Really, the one that sticks out to me, and it was really a long time ago, and it's the only kind of day that I've ever had to give him a little push mentally, was when we were in the middle of the second rehab process, and he was having a tough day. And, he kind of looked at me and said, listen, I feel like all I've done for the past 2 years is rehab. How you doing, Coach? Coach Ron Adams, legend, just walks by. So, I think back to that workout and how through all the different things we've worked through, that was the only time he's ever been a little bit down. And just how mentally tough he is. And it's hard to pinpoint one great workout that leads this time, but I just always look at his toughness, and his toughness not only just as a player, as a person, as a shooter. The other thing I think about is the fact that when he set the single game 3-point mark that Clay eventually broke, I think back to the game before that, when his streak of consecutive games with a made three was snapped against the Lakers. He was 0 for 10 in that game, and then he comes back in the next game and he's 13 for 17 for 3. That to me speaks to his toughness and his next play mentality. I think that's a huge factor in what's led him to here.
There was the game where it was Portland, I believe, where they said he needed 16 to break the record.
Yeah.
And people were saying, what happened? Well, I don't know. When you heard that, did you think, even that's too much? Or did you say,
no, I sat there and thought, how crazy is it that some people are rationally thinking that he might hit 16 threes in a game? Like that's what he's done to this sport. And that's what that's how highly people think of him, is that they think that 16 threes might actually happen. That's what I thought about. And then in the back of my mind, I was like, these people are nuts. That's not going to happen.
Brandon, what's the greatest three-pointer from Steph Curry in his career?
Oh, yeah, we've been asking
Oklahoma
that
City.
one all night.
Oklahoma City.
I'm telling you, it changed the game. It opened the door for, hey, you can shoot from this far out, not because we're running out of time, but because I choose to.
Who is that, Brandon?
That was Chris DeMarco walking out here. So.
CD.
Levitard. Have us throw those guys. Say hello.
And so I said the New Orleans shot. It was my dark horse pick. The New Orleans shot in the corner with AD.
The corner. That was big. But what stands out the most about it, he was fouled on that play, and they didn't call it. And the referee told him that if he had missed it, he would have called it. So that's the frustrating thing about that particular shot.
And that would have been the game winner.
That would have been the game winner.
Because it put it to overtime. But if he got the foul, it would have been the game winner.
And they were terrible down the stretch of that game, and that they had that furious comeback at the end of the overtime to win the series.
The nominee I had was the 4-point play from last year, where we talked about
which one?
Before, the one where he got fouled on his right arm, so he switches to the left hand against Boston. The Bob Myers. That Bob Myers.
That was Bob Myers, yes, and Mike Dunleavy. Yeah.
Tell Mike Haverstra's on.
Yeah, all the big hitters. So the left-handed heave that went
the left-handed 4-point play. A left-handed 4-point play. And we talked about this at the time. I asked you, is that something you work on, or is that just like, hey man, sometimes?
No, that's just an example of how Stephen pisses people off, because everything he does is just good. I mean, the guy could have never touched something, and he picks it up, and 5 minutes later, he looks like he's been doing it his whole life, and that's just kind of. He's one of those guys. Everything he does is just great, and it frustrates the hell out of you sometimes that somebody can be that good, that fast at things.
All right. Got a couple more here, and then we'll let you go, Brandon.
All right.
Where is Stephen Curry in his trajectory of his career? Del Curry, in his article with Mark Stein, said that the Currys develop later than normal athletes.
Absolutely.
Steph has always developed later than his teammates, than his age group. So where is Steph right now? Like,
not even close.
Could he hit five? Could he hit 5,000 3-pointers? He's at just about 3,000 right now.
If he chose to play that long, he certainly could. I think that he's certainly physically capable of doing that, but I don't know that he's going to choose to do that. He also has other things he enjoys. He enjoys being a father. He enjoys being a businessman. He enjoys hitting the golf ball. So I don't know how long he'll decide to play, but I mean, he could set a Cal Ripken-like mark for sure. In terms of setting an unbreakable record if he chose to do so.
What about MSG tonight? What can you tell us about the arena?
I mean, it's the Mecca, man. I mean, it's everything. But I agree. I've heard Amin's rant on his first time to the Garden and seeing the rats and things on the concourse. So I have to agree with him about that part. It is not the nicest of facilities, especially when you've had the pleasure of being in Chase Center quite often. The Madison Square Garden certainly doesn't measure up to that, but it is full of history, and you have to respect that history. But yes, it's not a smooth entry process, and it's not the most luxurious of places, that's for sure.
Real quick, Brendan, I heard someone say the other day, as we were leading up to this game, that it would be fitting because the 54-point game he had at the Garden was his national coming out game to the NBA.
Yeah.
Obviously, he had a great college career. Would you agree with that? Is that the game that does he look back on that and say, yeah, that's the day I figured it all out?
I think we all look back on that one as the okay, he can be really, really great type game. I think he would say that as well. That was the kind of the light bulb moment. Players have different light bulb moments at different times in their career, and I think that was the moment that he realized, I can be a great scorer and a great player in this league for a long time, and certainly I think it's fitting that's kind of where the greatness first started going up the hill, and then he kind of gets we're not to the top of the mountain there because there's still more to go. Hey, bud, what's up, Carl? Sorry, guys, more coaches walking out. But I mean, we got there's more to go, but it's nice and it's kind of come kind of full circle back to here.
Last question here: how much does your arm hurt right now?
It's burning. I've switched arms a couple times. Not gonna lie, I've kind of been on about a 3-minute rotation here. So, about every 3 minutes, I'm good. My delts. I got a little bicep, little tricep soreness from a workout from yesterday, and the delts will give me a little bit too. So it's a 3-minute rotation. You got the job done there.
We appreciate you, Brandon. We're putting you through the grinder that you put Steph through. So it's only right that tonight, when he breaks the record, we're making you sweat too.
Okay, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right, Brandon. Thanks.
All right, be safe tonight, okay?
Will do, man. Have a good one.
All right.
And Brandon Payne, friend of the program, man. He's always makes time for us, and even tonight, he's on the road. He had to find himself a semi-quiet place to give us a couple words on a big night, Tom, where he probably wanted to hang out with Steph and just keep. And from Brandon Payne, from someone who's got insights and is excellent at his basketball analysis and interesting, to just the biggest piece of shit ever. Zach
Tony,
Harper.
you can kick out Amin now. It'll just be the Zach Harper and Haverstro show.
This might be weird for Amin, guys, because last time we were supposed to do a show was Friday night on Mad Dog Sports Radio, and Amin didn't show up. Just flat out didn't show up. I did so I had to do it by myself.
Yes.
I did show up.
I'm pretty sure I talked to myself that night.
My internet didn't show up. That's what happened.
Interesting.
Which, by the way,
Zach, it was a Friday night, and he's on the East Coast, right? Friday night.
No. He was in probably Scottsdale. You were in Scottsdale.
No, I was in my
Story
Star studio, and I'm gonna just say this right now: it's a lot easier to do that show than it is when Zach had the internet issue happen at 7 a.m. And now I've got to do 3 hours of radio in bright and early when I'm barely awake.
Because I've never had to do that before either.
When have you had to do that?
Every fucking day. Are you kidding me? I always have to do radio by myself.
Language.
You use the language as well. Just following your lead, I mean.
Yeah.
Can we talk Nick Cage? Can we just stop with this pretending that Amin and I like each other enough to want to talk to each other?
You got to answer the question first. What is, in your estimation, the best or your favorite Steph Curry 3-pointer ever?
It's the one against OKC.
Yeah. See, Tom, I told you everyone's gonna have the same answer.
It's the one.
And I was getting cute. I was getting cute with the New Orleans one in the corner. That Anthony Davis in the playoffs.
No, because the Thunder were a good team. Like the Pelicans, we always pretend are good because we want Anthony Davis to be good, but it's just the Pelicans were never actually that good.
Zach is on a crusade to convince everybody that Anthony Davis not that good.
Oh, he's carrying the torch for me. This isn't a crusade for me. I'm just following his lead on this one. That's all AD.
Zach, we have to talk about Steph Curry tonight.
Yeah.
But before we get into what happened tonight, look, it's 40 minutes into the show, Zach. It's about that time. Tom's Trivia. We have a special one for the show tonight.
Oh, okay.
A special 3-pack on Steph Curry. Tom's Trivia. Drum roll, please. Thank you. All right. I'm going to give you 3 Steph Curry facts. 2 of them are true. 1 of them is made up. Totally made up out of thin air. I'm going to give you 3 Steph Curry stats. You tell me which one is false. The number 1 stat on the night that Steph Curry becomes the all-time king in 3-pointers. Here are 3 stats. The first one is Monte Ellis has assisted more Steph Curry 3-pointers than Andrew Bogut.
Okay.
That's number 1. Number 2.
I thought you were gonna say Monte Ellis has it all.
Monte have it all. Fact. 2. Steph's best road opponent, career 3-point percentage. I'm talking about the road arena. The best 3-point percentage on the road in his career is 51.1% at Madison Square Garden against the Knicks. His worst is at Lakers, 31.3%.
So every part of that statement has
to be true. Knicks number 1, at Knicks number 1, 51%. Worst is at Lakers, 31% 3-point career field goal percentage.
I would love for that to be the live because it's actually like 52%. He's like, I got you.
51.2. All right, that's the number 2 stat. Number 1, Monte Ellis has assisted more Steph Curry 3-pointers than Andrew Bogut. Number 2, his best road performance is the Knicks, 51%. Worst is the Lakers, 31%. Yeah. Number 3, Stephen Curry has made more 3-pointers during this pandemic than Larry Bird did in his entire career.
What do you say this pandemic? Define that time frame for me, please.
From the pandemic to
now,
like this, from March, March.
Flavin, what is this?
What do you
think the pandemic is?
Which pandemic or when?
It's a trivia show. There are all sorts of like trick questions and things like that. You have to be able to answer those trick questions so that I can answer your question. See, Tom.
You do live in Arizona. You might not know when the pandemic actually started or finished.
It's still going? Yeah. So like from March to like May 2020?
Yeah, March 2020 to May 2020.
By Memorial Day, we were back at it, baby.
This pandemic, I didn't say this wave, this strand, this variant. I said this pandemic. So starting March 20, what is it? 2020? Okay. That Steph Curry has made more 3-pointers this pandemic than Larry Bird did in his entire career. Those are 3 stats. Okay. Monte Ellis, more assists to Steph Curry 3-pointers than Andrew Bogut. Knicks and Lakers. Or number 3, Steph Curry has made more 3-pointers during this pandemic than Larry Bird did his entire NBA career. I posit to you in the chat. I want to hear it. Is 1, 2, or 3 the false, the poop in the punch bowl?
I think 2's the poop.
What part
which
of
is
it?
The
though?
poop?
Because two is the most complex one. So which part
exactly?
of that?
That's why.
You're just guessing like by volume.
I think there's no way. There's like those. He played some bad Lakers teams when he was really tearing the league apart. There's no way he shot 31% against the Lakers. There's no way.
Okay, so we have a
couldn't light up Kendall Marshall. Like, come on.
I forgot about Kendall Marshall, Laker. Also,
shout out to the Carolina Tar Heels. Yeah.
Xavier, what's his name? What was Xavier's
Xavier
last
Henry?
name?
Xavier Henry.
Xavier Henry. Yeah, Xavier Henry. My fault. Yeah.
Xavier.
That's how long it's been. Here's the thing. Me and Zach co-host a show on NBA Radio called No Look Pass. And the end of the second hour of No Look Pass, we have a segment called Stretch 4, where we get 4 statements.
Stretch 4 right here on SiriusXM NBA Radio's No Look Pass.
That's what he does every time. It's funny when I do it with other hosts and they don't do that.
They don't do it at all. There's here we go.
And I get disappointed, like, I want the pomp and circumstance, even though I hate it when it happens when Zach's on. So our producer does a really good job of coming up with preposterous statements.
Mm-hmm.
But early on, he kept messing up by making the first statement the most preposterous, at which point I would just tune out on the other 3. I didn't care.
Right.
So I think Tom fell in that same hole right there because
you think number
because
one, I don't know.
2 things. One, how much was Monte passing it to Steph? That guy was his rival, right? Number 2, Steph by volume of threes taken, a lot less in his first few years in the league than over the next few years when Andrew Bogut got there. And we know through the split cuts that Andrew Bogut was responsible for a bunch of assists. I am going to say statement number 1 sounds like the most poo-cocky of all the statements that have been made.
Poo-cocky.
Yes.
Zach, where
I
are you?
don't like that.
With a P.
Where are you leaning right now? 1, 2, or 3? 1, Monte Ellis. 2, Lakers. 3, Larry Bird.
2.
Oh,
I'm going 2.
It's 2. I changed my answer because he said Lakers. He didn't say Knicks, Lakers percentages. He just said Lakers. His shorthand. It's 2. It's 2. I changed my answer. Final answer 2.
I have written it down on my Post-it here. Shout out to the Post-its of the finals. You guys ready for the poop in the punch bowl?
The Puka.
Oh.
I thought that one was the most for sure. Lock it up.
It's 3.
Now I need to know when Tom thinks the pandemic was. Now that's
Stephen
It was
Curry
called
has
COVID-19
hit
'cause it started in
477 3-pointers during the pandemic. Larry Bird hit 649. That is the false one. It's not even all that close, but it sounds like it would be a really good Steph Curry fact. Number 2 is totally accurate. I feel like it's too specific to be the false one. So if you pick 2, kind of like, come on, it would be so lame.
Isn't that the Stugotz? Like, there's so much detail that it seemed like there was a good chance that it would be a lie.
Yeah, it comes out on the other end, Tom. Like the more detail you add, it's like, wait a second, what are you doing here? Yeah,
you're overcompensating.
Forever. What about the assist? What was the assist disparity?
Monte Ellis, 83 assists to Stephen Curry, 83 3-point assists to Stephen Curry. Andrew Bogut, 77, 83 to 77. Very close. Very close.
Damn. It's a good one. That's a good one, Tom.
All right, I got another one. I got another player that assisted Stephen Curry. You tell me if I'm making this shit up or not, because I think I'm making it up. I can't even believe this is true. 10 3-point assists to Steph. Wait, sorry. Hold on. 8 3-point assists. 8 3-point assists to Stephen Curry. Devin George.
When he was on the Lakers?
I don't turnovers?
George.
Remember when Steph Curry backed up? Remember when Steph Curry backed up Derek Fisher? That was a wild time.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, shouts to AC Law at 4th.
Oh, AC Law. Yeah, he was getting 4th quarter minutes over Steph. They were running post-ups. Mark Jackson was running post-up with Jermaine O'Neal instead of getting Steph the ball.
Oh, man. J.O. was pretty good, though.
These are a handful of the single-digit assist 3-pointers for Steph Curry. Here we go. Brandon Rush, Jordan Poole, Anthony Tolliver, Ian Clark, Devin George, Kelly Oubre Jr.
Yeah, like Jordan Poole, that's egregious.
No, but he's played with them for 2 years now, right?
It's egregious. That is egregious. What? Send your ass back to Santa Cruz.
Nick Young has 3.
That's when you
Didn't
grab
Nick Young
him by
play
his
multiple years with Steph too.
Nick Young.
But he was just there for comic relief. He wasn't playing like Jordan
Okay.
Poole. Literally, you got to pull him by his ear outside the building and then just point to the Chase Center. You know how we built this shit? Pass
Give
the
me the
goddamn
ball.
ball.
Hey Zach. Now that we've done the trivia, the Tom's trivia, do you like the little dookie I wrote here? Just like the little.
Oh, I do like that. At first, I thought it was a Christmas tree.
That's on fire, kind of.
Yeah, like kind of thought there was a Christmas tree, but I see kind of like there's like some buzzards above it, or was that a fly, or what is that?
I'm trying to visualize smell.
Oh, you were doing the squiggly lines.
Squiggly lines.
Squiggly lines. You guys want to see that again, real quick? If you, here's the squiggly line here.
I thought it was like
honestly,
I
thought it was a joke,
though.
And the squiggly lines were
Zach, was I overrating tonight's cool moment factor of Steph Curry hitting the 3-pointer there with all the pomp and circumstance of that shot? Did you feel it, or were you like me and you're like, this was boring?
I didn't say it was boring. Let's stop it. I didn't say it was boring.
You said it was the worst. You said it's going to be on Cinephobe one day. That this shot, very poorly rated.
This dude said this is the best game of the year. The biggest game of the year.
The coolest moment of the year. That's what I said. I didn't say
you said the
game.
You said the biggest game of the year, and I said, do you think this is going to have the highest ratings? And you said yes.
No.
I think this game is going to have the highest ratings of the season. Yes.
For regular season.
For the whole is it because you think the league's about to shut down for the rest of the season, or like what? I'm
building that in. I'm baking that in. That the NBA is shutting down for Christmas Day. I'm sweating.
I like that it was. Take it off. I like that it was Andrew Wiggins who assisted it. I thought that was a clever little twist to the story.
Yeah, plot twist.
Yeah, I like
where's he on the list?
That was it. I think that's just the one.
One. Steven Jackson. I want to hear that story. We got to pull up that clip. Steven Jackson is assisting Stephen Curry.
When?
When he came back, right? No, but didn't he come back? Didn't he get the extension from the Bobcats and then get traded back to the Warriors?
No, he got the what?
Isn't that what happened?
That's not what happened at all. He got the extension from the Warriors and then got traded to the Bobcats.
That's what. Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
No, because Robert Rowell was the guy that did it, and he remember, like Steven Jackson said, he didn't have an agent. First of all, he negotiated that on his own.
Yep.
And he just basically completely skipped over the front office and went straight to Rob Rowell, who's the president. So I'm looking at, when did Steven Jackson?
I mean, it had to been like
2012. 2012, he got traded.
2012.
Wow, that recent?
He was acquired. What the hell? He was in the Andrew Bogut trade. Huh, how about that?
With Monte?
Yes, for Monte.
For Monte.
It was Bogut and Steven Jackson for Monte.
Steven Jackson was on the Bucks. Oh, he was on the Bucks. That's right.
That's when our good friend Black Trey befriended him.
That's right.
A lot of wild nights.
That's right.
A lot of wild nights in Milwaukee. So he got traded. Now he was with the Bucks. Got traded in that deal with. Now here's the funny part. Monte, can you name the other two guys that got traded with Monte?
I know one of them.
Milwaukee. Mm-hmm.
Udo.
Yes, that's true.
Ekby.
Who's the other? Yeah. Who's the other?
The one. Azubuike?
No, it's a big. It's another
big. Oh,
yeah. Biedrins?
Nope. This is gonna kill you guys.
Brandon
Kwame
Wright?
Brown.
Oh,
Kwame Brown.
No,
I don't remember Kwame Brown.
Random.
There's no way.
Fillers.
I don't remember Kwame being a Buck or a Warrior. How about that?
Not once.
No,
not once.
Not real.
Not for a minute.
I'm calling that the poop in the punch bowl right there. Not a true fact.
Travis, what's the current topic? I honestly can't follow. We're talking about the Warriors. We're talking about the Warriors. We're talking about Steph Curry.
The Warriors.
Is that too hard? Like, is that
he set the all-time record for 3-pointers made tonight.
Yeah.
Travis.
Hey. Yeah. We're talking about guys who have assisted him, and we're kind of marveling at some of the guys who have assisted him, not realizing that these guys were ever Warriors. It's almost like you've never watched Lebertard or listened to Lebertard show, where they go off on tangents talking about 90s baseball players and who's got the funniest name. What are you doing? What are you doing here, Travis? Why are you here?
Tom, if I throw this name at you, does it do anything? John Mabry.
Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't.
Do you think? Just an old baseball player,
Yeah. I was just gonna say I don't think he played in the NBA though.
He did not. No, but Amin said 90s baseball players. I don't think he was in the 90s. I think John Mabry was in aught, but
maybe he was. Maybe he wasn't.
Okay, fine. We'll do this. How about this? Did you guys listen to the music during the Steph Curry like hug fest celebration?
Yeah. What was that?
What they play?
It's amazing. It was very majestic. Like
it was a crescendo fest. Yeah.
It was like Julius Caesar ascending his throne. The music you might hear when he was doing that.
There's definitely some gladiator vibes. Yeah. Going on.
And it went on forever. Like, do you think they had like a 30-second loop that they were like, oh God, we got to just keep this going?
Well, what were they doing? So they stopped, they congratulate him. He gets the ball. He gets to go like hug his parents and everything. And then like he just went and sat down for a bit, which I didn't really understand. And then Reggie Miller was trying to learn how to use a phone for a minute and like record some stuff as he and like Ray Allen was kind of dressed like Kevin Garnett. I don't know if you noticed that
with the turtleneck,
and the jacket. Yeah.
Shouts to George Sedano. Yeah.
Yep.
Big
is it Sedano? Is it Sedano or is it Tony?
I've heard it's Tony. Now I don't know. I've heard it's Tony.
Is it D Wade?
In the private chat, Tony says it's me. He stole it.
He stole it.
Wow. I am so sorry, Tony. I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
They all did. He
wow.
says.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. He's going there.
I'm with him.
I like the idea like that. Everyone's kind of it's a conspiracy against Tony. Tom, do we want to start talking? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, what was the term that you called Monty Williams a few months ago in the
look
bubble?
At me, Louie.
Or not in the bubble. Look at me,
Louie.
Look
at me, Louie.
Draymond, a little look at me, Louie, after with Steph. Like,
he wanted to be in those pictures.
Yeah, he was making sure. Yeah, he was making sure he gets every single moment.
Unfortunately, that's not the picture that's going to go to the Hall of Fame. The picture that's going to the Hall of Fame is going to be either him with Reggie and Ray Allen, or him with his dad hugging, or his mom. Either.
Yeah, I think we'll see it with Dell. I think that'll be the one. Yeah.
But Draymond, I'm sorry, man. Like you might make an NBA TV special like 20 years from now.
I think it was when he lightly dapped Kevon Looney. I think that's the one.
I like the idea. Like
that's the one that's going to the Hall. Naismith is putting that one up. Is just Kevon Looney. Like a good job. Like very Kevon Looney. Like.
Do we want to real quick because we're running up against time here? The Nicolas Cage.
I mean, that's what I was told to come on and discuss. Okay. We could talk about how I wrote an article back in 2012 or 2013 that Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time, and that's kind of been lost in the annals of history. Yeah,
nice to see you again.
You know, it's not a big deal.
Oh wait, I think I wrote in 2010 that he should be taking 10 3-pointers a game, and everyone
way more impressive.
Why did you think so little of him that he should only take 10? When really like 15, 20 is the accurate
I wish
number.
I had receipts to Zach tweeting me in 2010 being like, you're fucking nuts. He's already taking 7.
I'm pretty sure I've always said never take 2s. So Steph
I mean,
Curry
you played pickup
with
Zach, right? I mean, you played pickup with Zach.
Have I? Yeah. Have we played?
We played in San Antonio. We played during the finals once for sure.
Yeah, San Antonio. I think.
Yeah, maybe in Vegas once.
That was when I had. That's when I had Chris Broussard on my team, and he shot it only when he touched it.
I think I had Luke Bonner. I think I had Luke Bonner on my team.
Let me say right now, like to anybody who might like doubt it, or whatever. Chris Broussard is nice.
Oh,
he's nice. He's not try to guard him.
Yeah,
he's really good, and like as an older guy particularly, but even like you wouldn't know how old he was playing against him because he's in such great shape and he's really skilled. But if you're playing with him, like,
you're not getting it. No,
you might.
No, you're both clapping for the inbound. Like, no, I want the ball because if you don't get on the inbound, you're not getting it.
I think I've seen Chris Broussard clap for the ball when he had the ball.
Yeah, like you think you think I chuck? Like, no, Chris Broussard that thing's always going up.
Yeah,
there's a chance I'll pass. There's no chance he will.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant is tweeting. Hold on. Breaking news. Kevin Durant is tweeting. Breaking news. He is responding to Skip Bayless's tweet. Skip Bayless said, the best player on the planet was at it again tonight in Brooklyn, going assassin in overtime for the COVID-rocked Nets. Nothing like Kevin Durant. You watch Braun, ? And Kevin Durant quote tweets it, response, I really don't like you.
Yeah.
Why not just ignore Skip, right?
Yeah. You know what he's doing there, though? He's quote tweeting it. He didn't reply where it doesn't pull up into everyone's mentions. He quote tweets it. The one that's saying nothing like Kevin Durant. I really don't like you. Nice move.
Skip's going to be on the boardroom tomorrow. Some kind of podcast promotion.
Nicolas Cage. We knew this movie was coming, right?
Yes,
because I remember we talked about it like months ago, but at the time it just seemed like, it was kind of like if you guys ever seen the movie JCVD, where Van Damme plays himself, but kind of like, people expect him to be an actual action star, and he's like, no, I'm just an actor.
Where did we talk about it? I mean,
I think it was on a podcast that you and I do together. It's called, what is that? Cinephobe?
Oh, what's Cinephobe?
That's the podcast where you and I watch movies that are poorly rated on Rotten Tomatoes and try to ascertain whether they are accurately poorly rated or perhaps didn't get a fair shake. That's Cinephobe. It's produced by Anthony Mays, and you catch it wherever you get podcasts.
Yes.
This week, by the way, Zach, what do we have this week coming out tomorrow?
Oh, coming out tomorrow morning, Honest Thief, starring Liam Neeson.
Oh my God.
It might be right now. It might have just come out right now.
It might be. I think it's like
if you're listening to this tomorrow as the Big Suey, then yes, go check it out. But honest, every time I hear that title, I just it's such a stupid title, such a stupid movie. But what we did during the episode, everyone needs to check this out, because Mays just kept hitting the honest term all the time.
Yeah.
Like anything's like, it was an honest mistake, and he just kept saying honest. And as I haven't even listened to the episode yet, but as I'm remembering the record session,
he said it a lot. Yeah,
he said it a lot, and I keep laughing every time. So check that out. Also, we've got the special edition coming up at the end of the month. Can we say what that is, Zach, or no?
I don't know if I remember it.
Okay.
So
all right, never mind. We won't say it then. All right. So, but you're excited.
The unbearable weight of massive talent.
I'm so excited because this is something where you hear about this, and like JCVD is fun, but it's like it's not low budget, but it's not a high. This looks like a good movie, right? This looks really well done. It doesn't look like some B movie that Nick Cage is just attaching himself to. It looks incredible, and he's poking fun at himself, like he's trying to buy a statue of himself. He's running away with this rich billionaire who's like his biggest fan.
Pedro Pascal, played by the Mandalorian himself.
Blonde Pedro Pascal. Very shockingly blonde. Never seen him as a blonde.
Who's the guy in the trailer? I'm trying to remember who's
Neil
Patrick Harris. Yeah. NPH is the one trying to convince him to take the role because it's too good. Because Tiffany Haddish.
He owes the Sunset Tower $600,000 for living there. Yeah.
Is that real, by the way?
Probably. I'm gonna guess a lot of this like money issues that they bring up in there is not far from the truth.
But here's my thing. Are trailers better than the movie now? Some of these trailers that have come out in the past week have been so good.
What else? What other trailer?
Oh, I mean both of Adam McKay's new movies, and this isn't even just a shameless plug, but the
Netflix
series,
one?
the Lakers series.
That trailer legitimately got me excited for that thing. I did not care before because I just thought, I don't know if this is gonna be good. Like, obviously Adam's great at what he does, but I just thought, like, am I really gonna be interested in this? Watch the trailer, I'm in.
Oh my God. Yeah. Winning Time. If you haven't seen the trailer for Winning Time, go watch it. It is so good. Fired up.
It's got,
just thinking about
John C. Reilly as Dr. Jerry Buss is just,
it's great.
I mean, I was staggered. I was like, shit, he looks just like him. He doesn't sound like him. He sounds like John C. Reilly. He sounds like Shake and Bake, right? Like, but
Cal Naughton.
Yeah, Cal Naughton, but he looks like him.
He does.
Adrian Brody as Pat Riley. We didn't really get any lines. It's just him walking with the hair before it
Yeah.
gets slicked back. And then who else? Oh, there's a new guy that they actually cast and had to go look for
Magic
to play Magic. But
who's playing Jerry West?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I don't remember who it was.
I saw
the point is that the trailer was amazing, and then of course Don't Look Up, the other one. Watched that trailer and was just super fired up about that one too. So I don't know. It just feels like trailers are really having a moment right now.
Trailers are having a moment. It's a big time for trailers, especially because they have to get people back in the movie theaters, right? So they're really trying to get these trailers to be even better than ever. But with the Nick Cage one, I don't know if you noticed, he's playing multiple people in this movie.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was within the context of him.
You got to go see it to find out.
Yeah, like with the context within him doing this for this billionaire, or was he actually playing multiple roles?
His hair in this looks so phenomenal. Like whatever hairpiece he has on right now, like it is, I'm all for it. I'd like to see everybody in this hairpiece. Tom, I'd like to see you with it. I think you would look good after Mike Ryan has to shave his head. I'd like to see him with this Nick Cage hairpiece. Like it's really a special one. Like it's one of his best ones.
I got confused for a second. I thought you were talking about the elixir.
It's collagen. It's liquid collagen. I mean, by the way, I mean it works. It works.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Inside jokes.
Guess, yeah.
Andrew Wiggins, 33 assists to Steph Curry, 3-pointers.
33.
Poole has 8. Fuck out of here, man. Get the
13th,
fuck out of here.
13th on the all-time list. That is a shocking number.
If you had told me Wiggins had passed to Steph Curry just 33 times, I would be like, oh, that seems a little high.
Yeah.
Really quick, because we did tease this earlier, a little COVID talk. Obviously, we have the Bulls and the Hornets have had to shut down completely because they don't have enough players. We've seen teams shut down entire facilities now after one positive, just to be on the safe side. But Tom, I want you to tell the people, not say your theory, but the question that you asked me based on how these kind of mass positives have been happening.
Yeah, so it hit Charlotte really bad. Like they had 5 players out, including the GOAT Ish Smith, out with COVID. I was surprised that Ish Smith could get COVID in the first place because he is, he's Ish Smith, right?
Well, he passes along everything, right? He's an assistant.
I just think he would outrun COVID because he's so fast, notably faster than any NBA player end to end, 94 feet, even faster than John Wall pre-injury. I don't know why I have to say pre-injury there. I could just said John Wall.
It's not like post-injury. He got faster. That's
yeah. So anyway, here's what I noticed is that the Charlotte Hornets got a whole string of COVID. What happened?
Somebody called you QAnon, Tom.
Oh shit.
He hasn't even said the theory. That's my favorite part.
He's got a theory. He's got a theory. It's got to be QAnon Tom.
November 29th, Charlotte versus Chicago. The LaMelo Ball, Lonzo Ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Zach, Kobe White, December 1st, out in protocols a couple days after that Charlotte-Chicago game. Then a couple days after that, Javonte Green, a day after that, the whole Charlotte Hornets team out.
Yeah.
Then we see the New York Knicks having a bunch of their players out and the Brooklyn Nets having a bunch of their players out in the next week. Here is the schedule for the Chicago Bulls, starting with that Charlotte game, November 29th. Knicks, Brooklyn Nets. My question
so you think the Bulls started this?
My question is Omicron, and we can't know this without having the actual strands and the data and the genetic testing, but are we sure that there isn't in-game transmissions happening in the NBA once we see this kind of domino effect of the Chicago Bulls on the 29th, play the Charlotte Hornets, and then a bunch of Charlotte Hornets are out, a bunch of Chicago Bulls are out. And then there's this cascade effect where the Knicks and the Nets are both having a bunch of team players out. So I don't know. The NBA has stated in the past that they have not found any evidence of in-game transmission in NBA games. But I'm just wondering now with this new strand, this new variant, that something's changed.
Alternate theory? Thanksgiving.
See, I would have gone with Thanksgiving. And I think we'll see another big rash of this stuff at the New Year because of the holidays and especially, oh my God, New Year's Eve. That's gonna be a toughie there for the NBA. But I'd never understood this whole theory that it can't be transmitted during games. It's not like they have to sub COVID into the game. Like COVID doesn't have to check into the scorers table and then get let into the game. Like it's never made sense to me that this is not a way to pass it. I think it's just we don't really have any evidence, so we're not going to have that. We need to get these games in. It's still above most things. We need to get these games in. And so with the NBA, like they're going to lose some games here, and it's not like that cushion's built into the schedule anytime soon to help things. So I think the second half of the season is going to suck for a lot of teams.
Yeah, and the next couple of weeks are going to be really tough. Last year, the peak, I think, was like mid-January. So I don't think we're nearly the worst of it so far. So Bulls are missing the next two games, canceled the next two games. They pushed back the Lakers game. The Lakers also shut down practice today. Giannis, James Harden in protocols, probably knocking them out for the Christmas Day game. But you know what, Zach? We got Steph Curry. 2,974 3-pointers, the greatest moment of the season, I dare say. And we had Brandon Payne from Accelerate Basketball, live from Madison Square Garden. We had two truths and a lie, and I thought it was a pretty good one, I would say, Zach. I stumped both of you guys.
Yeah, I really thought, if anything, it was going to be one of the first two, so kudos to you, or whatever the hell Woody says.
Kudos?
Isn't that what he says? Kudos is kudos to you.
That's how Woody says.
I think so.
Kudos.
Yeah.
I thought he said kudos. Didn't he say kudos?
Whatever wrong way of saying it. That's what he says it.
Well, shouts to everybody who contributed in the chat, and hopefully this is the big suey tomorrow.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We make the cut.
That last 12 minutes might have stopped that from happening, but hey, everybody have a good night.